Okay, here we are. We are at the very important draft lottery special. I'm joined today by Sam, who just happened to pop on the exact same time I was about to record and post this. So thanks for joining me, Sam.
Course. Excited to see all the picks I don't have.
Absolutely. Before we jump into the lottery, we of course always have to recap and celebrate the season that we had, which I do think was a fantastic and very fun season. Congrats to Jasper. He not only won the championship, he also prevented Anthony from winning the second championship in a row, which would have been the Empire Pot to Anthony, even though it was just super, super early on. Um, so now Jasper has an opportunity to win the Empire Pot next season. His team's super strong, and I think he's really well positioned to do it. I would say he won in rather dominating fashion. He was the team to beat all year, and that really kind of carried over in the playoffs. So he'll be getting his name on the trophy. He'll be getting the prize money for first place. Anthony came in at second, still a super strong result so far. Of course, he finished first last year and then second this year. He doesn't get much better than that. Sam, you had a huge improvement from last year to this year. I was putting together these slides and I noticed you moved up from, I want to say it was 11th last year, and you finished third this year. So that's an 8 place rise. Congrats, man.
Thank you. I should have won,
You could have won.
but I'll take third.
You ran into a buzzsaw. You ran into Jasper. So
Got shit on by Jasper 3 times this year.
I was disappointed to finish fourth, but it's probably about what I deserved. I've got some work to do to improve. Zach did great, fifth place, and Chris rounded out the winners bracket with a sixth place finish there. The pathetic losers, who we will be talking about in the draft lottery. That's what this is all about. Jeremy just missed a playoffs. Second year in a row, Jeremy gets bounced from the sixth place seed, knocked out because of the points stipulation that we have. So this is second year in a row we've deemed him not worthy to make it into the playoffs. So relegated to seventh. Lee was in the winners bracket last year. I want to say he got fifth or sixth, so he dropped a few places there. Johan, fall from grace, all the way from second place last year to ninth. Brandon, I can't remember what he finished last year, but of course, 10th, 11th, not 10th, 11th, 12th, not where you want to be. So he's got some work to do. Aaron, also a huge fall from grace. I believe he got third last year, but a rebuilding year for him. He does have a lot of draft picks that he owns, and then Johnny. Johnny's rounding it out at 12th place. Got a ways to go. Much to improve. Sam, what are you thinking about the losers bracket here? Any signs of hope? Any
I think
rosters of
Jeremy
much concern?
Jeremy's got some hope. I think Jeremy has a lot of hope. I think Johnny is fucked. And I think that's it. I think Brandon will either trade his way into where Johnny is now or he'll trade his way into the playoffs, but we'll see. I think he's trading. He's a man without a plan, but he trades a lot.
He trades a lot. You can't fault him for lack of
Yeah.
activity. That's
It's
for
not for
sure.
lack of effort. I
Not
can
for
definitely
lack of
back
effort.
that.
I think Aaron could do well. Like I said, he has a lot of picks that he owns, and I think he thinks about things pretty well analytically and generally makes decent decisions. So I'm hopeful for Aaron. I think, like you said, I think Johnny's got some work to do. I think he has to not listen to certain people every now and then. Those people can remain nameless. Maybe you could even include myself in those conversations. I don't know, but he needs to evaluate value a little better, I think. But we'll see.
Johan had Derrick Henry, right? So he was actually in a good spot.
hmm
And
hmm
then Aaron was first last season before playoffs. Is that right?
Aaron, yeah, Aaron entered last season's playoffs as the first seed. He
One
didn't
seed.
win it, but he
Okay,
was the first seed. He has a
just the one
he
seed.
has a team of a lot of veterans, a lot of high scorers, and then it seemed like this year was the year he turned it all over to go on the youth movement.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we've got a lot of different teams in kind of different places on the talent life cycle here. So it's interesting, but I think everybody's active, everybody's having fun with it. So that's what it's all about. So very cool. So we'll jump into the draft lottery. Just kind of a recap of how the lottery works. This is only for the non-playoff teams. So Jeremy, Lee, Johan, Brandon, Aaron, and Johnny. When I say teams, I really just mean their picks. Whoever owns. There could be different owners of those picks, of course, but those managers, they're having their picks in the lottery. So they're participating there. It's all put together by a random number generator. Anthony and I did the random number generator yesterday, so we have the results. We recorded those. If there are any calls of corruption or just checking on discrepancies or anything like that, but we did record those in case anyone has any questions. And what I'm doing now is just presenting the results. The winner of the consolation bracket's guaranteed at least a top 3 pick. So if they don't lottery into pick 1 or 2, then they just automatically receive the 3rd pick. So that's how that works. Only the top 3 picks are in the lottery. So picks 4, 5, and 6 will be assigned in reverse order of regular season standings. So there's no lottery activity happening with picks 4, 5, and 6. That's just based off of your record. You have to win the lottery, or you have to basically random into the top 3. Otherwise, it's just reverse order. Odds placement is based off of end of regular season placement, not the end of consolation bracket. So example, the 12th place team, Johnny, in this case, when he was entering the playoffs, will still remain 12th place and have the highest odds, regardless of his finish in the consolation bracket. What the consolation bracket does is really solidify that he for sure receives a top 3 pick if he wins it. So in this way, a manager is not penalized for having a successful consolation bracket playoff run, so there's no tanking in the playoffs. And no one would do that, ever. And the draft lottery results and order of the picks for the first round carry over to the remaining rounds. So the winner of the first pick in the first round also gets the first pick in the second, third, fourth, etc., etc. So your position in the first round is your position in later rounds.
Question.
Yes, answer.
So what about tanking in the top bracket once you've lost? Is there an advantage to being the lowest of the winner's bracket?
There is not. I'm so glad that you joined us, Christopher. I didn't even hear you come in. So the way that works essentially is first place is automatically, and that's the winner of the playoffs, right? Regardless of what seed you entered the playoffs in. You win the whole championship, you get the 12th pick. Second pick, or the second to last pick, the 11th pick, is whoever gets second. That's playoff result oriented. The winner of third place, in this case Sam, he gets the third to the last pick, and then fourth place is assigned automatically right there. So those are all results oriented for sure, locked in. Now, what you have, the one discrepancy is that fifth and sixth place matchup. So basically, the people in the winners bracket that lost their first round matchup. In this case, Chris, it was you and Zach. You're essentially playing a fifth place / sixth place game for essentially no stakes. Like you can't win any money, you're not in the lottery, so it doesn't matter. What do we do there? And our constitution dictated that is a coin flip. So Anthony and I flipped a coin for your pick because you're playing in a meaningless matchup. That's per the constitution, and Anthony and I flipped a coin for you.
Right, because I didn't set my lineup or care at all about that game. So
exactly. And honestly, if you did care about that game, the results really just kind of come down to just in terms of like
bragging
you'd be more bragging rights, or you're more like honestly incentivized to lose if you're going to get a higher pick. So that's not what that's about. So that is essentially the one pick in the whole thing that's a coin flip.
Got it.
Cool.
Carry on.
Great question. So glad you're here. These are the draft odds. So you can see here, I don't know if my mouse is popping up on everybody's screen, but Johnny with the 12th pick does have the highest odds, or he has basically the most balls in the lottery bouncer ball thing, however you want to say it. So he has the most numbers in the number range that we're looking at, 21.88, and it kind of works its way down to the 7th place finishing team, which was Jeremy. And almost all of these picks are not owned by their original manager. So Johnny's pick is owned by Aaron. Aaron's pick is owned by Aaron. So Aaron, right off the bat, has like a 40% chance of getting one of these top picks here, or even multiple top picks. Brandon's got Johnny's pick. Johan's got Brandon's pick. I have Lee's pick, and he won the consolation bracket, so that is a top 3 pick for sure for me. Greatly appreciate Lee's contributions. And Jeremy has Brandon's pick.
So let's say that
Mhm.
let's say that Lee tanked that game. There's just nothing you can do about it, yeah?
Anthony and I have discussed that because we think that in the future that would be kind of a bummer if those things were to happen. And so this is kind of one of these things that we're kind of like learning over time because yeah, he could have decided to be a jerk and just tank that, or he thinks that whoever owns, like, let's imagine it even worse. Let's imagine Jasper owned his pick instead of me. Here Jasper is on his way to winning the championship and he's potentially going to get a pick in the consolation bracket. So, is he incentivized on, throwing that game on purpose, which is kind of a bummer. We don't want those types of things happening. So Anthony and I have had discussions about thoughts on what we could do to mitigate that in the future, but more to come on that. We'll see. Basically, we don't want people losing games on purpose. That's stupid.
Would have made for good drama though.
It would have made for good drama, and there's something to be said about that. I'll just say we talked about informally. We talked about if you own somebody's pick. For example, I owned Lee's pick. I would be able to control his roster. I can't pick people up or drop people, but I can set the roster during that time.
I see.
And we don't know if we like that idea or not. I think we're going to table it and have conversation, but we were thinking that that potentially made some sense.
Seems fair.
What's your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, I think that is fair because Lee has no incentive to try, right? And if he thinks that you are in a stronger position than whoever he's playing, it does make sense for him to
throw
tank.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our thought process on that. We'll see. If we want to make a rule change, we'll of course talk about it with the rest of the league. But that was one idea that we had. Anthony's counter to that idea was if you controlled somebody's roster during the consolation bracket, you could also make them lose and get the Dick Trophy. So I thought that was kind of interesting, actually. I'm like, I don't think I would do that. I would never do that because I would be trying to win because I'm really trying to win the pick for the consolation bracket. That just seems really petty. But Anthony brought that up, and I'm like, that would be pretty dastardly, I guess.
He's always thinking about the Dick Trophy.
Always. I feel like this is the only
All
thing he thinks about. All right, so this is it. These are the actual results. Anthony and I worked these all out, and so we've got the results here, and we're gonna go through them. Chris, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
I love it. Okay, we've got both of you on here. This is great. So first and foremost, this is the first chunk of them. This is what we knew. This is in reverse order of the playoff results, and as I said, we flipped a coin for Chris and Zach's positioning. So Chris ended up with a higher pick on that coin flip. So congratulations, Chris. You're a lucky guy. One pick higher, and you owned that pick, so that was good for you. I guess it was unlucky for Brandon because Zach didn't even own his pick. So Jasper keeps his own pick, and Sam, you have Anthony's pick. Aaron has Sam's pick. It looked like I swapped straight across. I own my own 9th pick. Brandon's got Zach's pick, and Chris owns his own pick. Okay, here we go. So the 6th pick will be made by Jeremy's team, except Brandon owns that pick. So that one kind of fell perfectly into the odds there because he was least likely to win it. The next pick, Brandon's pick, which is owned by Johnny. That's the 5th pick. The 4th pick, Aaron. Aaron owns his own 4th pick. These are the lottery results. Remember, Lee had a consolation bracket finish, so he was guaranteed at least a top 3 pick.
Lee better show up next.
He sure
There
did.
it is.
He
He
sure
sure
did. Oh, so disappointed. I was very disappointed. But so Lee's 3rd pick will be moving over to me. The 2nd pick, Johnny's pick, which is owned by Aaron at number 2. And that means the 1st overall pick, Johan's pick, which is owned by Brandon,
Brandon.
going over to the 101 to Brandon. So congrats to Brandon. Congrats to Aaron for getting that top 2 pick as well. Aaron's got 3 picks in the first round. I've got 2 picks in the first round. Brandon's got 3. Brandon's all over the place. So those are the results.
3 for Brandon. Okay.
3
Aaron
for
has
Brandon.
all these picks because he traded you, Cup, and Cook, right?
Dalvin Cook. I had a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I don't
I think
remember
you
whose
had
they
like
were.
5 at one point.
I did.
Okay.
I did. So moved those around, kept my own, and kept Lee's. I believe I had Johnny's pick. I don't think I
I
had
think you had
Johan's.
Johnny's. Yeah.
I did have Johnny's, but that was part of the Cooper Cup Dalvin Cook trade. So, anyways, that's the way these things go out. That's how it all spells out here. We'll wrap it up here. The league will be deactivated, frozen at the end of the NFL regular season. So it's currently, you can still make free agent moves at the current moment, even though the regular season is still happening, so you can still move around with free agents if you wanted to, even though there's no games being played. At the end of the NFL regular season, we'll lock all of the rosters, so everybody be on the lookout for that. If you want to make any moves, you got to make them soon, by the end of next week, actually. League business will resume after the Super Bowl, so we get basically like a month or 2, quote unquote, off. So there's no trades, there's no free agency, the rosters are locked, so everybody can just kind of take a break for just a little while, and then after the Super Bowl, we'll reactivate everything. The 2025 draft picks are available for trade once league business resumes, so those will be available now that we're on to the next season. And that's it. I wanted to thank everyone for having a super great season. It was super fun, super competitive. Congrats again to Jasper, Anthony, and Sam for finishing in the money there. Any lingering thoughts or closing remarks from you guys?
Good job, Brandon. He
Good,
needed that.
good job, Brandon.
He needed that big time.
Good job, Brandon.
Can't wait to see what he trades it for.
Absolutely.
And you put some effort into this PowerPoint slide you got going on here. Did you even say that that this was happening? I just like walked into this thing.
I didn't make any announcements. I was just gonna do it. I was flying solo until Sam logged on, and then you swooped in. So I appreciate you guys swinging by.
Oh,
Thanks,
you like
Tyler.
is this a podcast? You guys recording it or something?
Yep, I'm recording it, and I'm gonna make it a YouTube video, and I'm gonna send it out right now, and I'm gonna hit stop recording right now.